I watched American shows and cartoons all my life, and I always thought their lunches looked so cool. They have these funny plastic trays with hamburgers, pizzas, and these cute little milk cartons. Sometimes even chocolate flavored. And sometimes they pack food in paper bags from home, which I thought was so interesting. Packing a whole meal for your kid to the school? That's wild to me! Man! I was so jealous of this food culture when I was a kid. That'll be $3. What? You have to pay for the food in here. $3, please. I have to pay for my food. It's not free. No. Why would it be? My school food journey has generally been a positive one. I'm not a picky either, so I've been eating pretty much everything my school have served me over the years without complaints. Sure, there were maybe 5 times tops when I didn't eat the food, but considering I've been in school for 17 years, if I'm counting right, I can say that the food has mostly been good and free every time. Of course, I'll admit, the food from elementary school wasn't quite as good as the food I got in my later years. But let's be real, the food was made for adults, so it's not like the basic spaghetti or potatoes that are more common in kid-friendly meals. American school food always has fascinated me though. It's shown in the media all the time, and I used to watch pictures of whatever they had there. When I was younger, I was really jealous of the burgers they got at American schools. But then I got burgers at my school too, and honestly, I liked them. I'm a burger person. If I have to choose between pizza and burgers, the burgers win every time. But school burgers? Even if I liked them, they were a bit of a hazard. Stacking all the ingredients I wanted between the buns was a mess. Sometimes the cafeteria just put the ingredients in a weird order, so it felt like a burger disaster waiting to happen because the ingredients were not in the right order I wanted them to be in. I can't walk around when there are 20 people after me just to get tomatoes over my salad. But since I'm not American, I'll be talking about the school food I've actually had over the years, not just the burgers, the good and mostly the bad in this video. The first time I remember not eating the food in school was back in elementary school, probably in the 3rd grade, when the city that provided the food for my school decided to serve as pork liver sauce with potatoes. Now, it wasn't the first time I had liver. I remember my mom making my sister and me eat it, or at least taste it at home. But having it at school? That was a surprise I didn't expect, and I ended up not eating that day. I remember sitting at the end of the table staring at the food because we weren't allowed to leave the cafeteria before a certain time. That 20-minute wait felt so long, and I'm pretty sure most of the other kids didn't eat either. After that day, I was never served liver at school again. I'm guessing the city learned that serving liver to a bunch of elementary kids was a terrible idea, especially with all the food waste that they must have brought. One time, at the same school, I was in line behind 2 girls who were talking about how one of them had noticed a stink bug in one of their classmates' hair that day. The bug had disappeared into the hair, and the girl couldn't stop thinking about it. We had spaghetti that day, and she told her friend she couldn't eat because she kept imagining the stink bug in the food. The spaghetti was good every time, so she missed a good meal that day. I didn't see the bug, so I was free to eat as much as I wanted, but of course with a limited amount of meatballs. I get the rule of 5 meatballs per student, so everybody would get meatballs. But come on, I want more! I got my first pizza as a school lunch in secondary school, and it was okay. Not my favorite, but definitely something to remember. It felt like plastic, no bending on the dough, and the taste was probably nothing. Even if it was most likely a pepperoni pizza, it didn't taste like anything. Honestly, I'd take pretty much anything else over that pizza, and I'm glad they weren't serving it regularly. I'd much rather have mashed potatoes with meatballs or a bowl of pea soup. And you know what the best part of pea soup in Finland? You get Finnish rye bread and Finnish baked pancakes with jam every time. I absolutely love pea soup. Just toss in some onions and mustard and I could eat that every day. The only rule in pea soup is no carrots in the soup. It's just wrong. I will die on this hill. Carrots do not belong in pea soup. That's non-negotiable. Another school lunch I wasn't too keen on as a kid was Finnish cabbage rolls. I hated them when I was younger, and I'd always pick something else if given a choice. But now, as an adult, I can eat them. I'm not jumping from joy, but I can stomach them. I guess you could say I've matured. Now, the second time I didn't eat in school was because the people who work in the school cafeteria were on strike. It was just one day, but I'll never forget it. They got advance notice 2 weeks ahead of time, so parents had plenty of time to prepare. But the day came and I completely forgot about the strike. I showed up expecting lunch, but instead I went with my sister and friends to the store. I grabbed a garlic baguette and a drinkable yogurt for lunch. It wasn't exactly a glamorous school meal, but it wasn't bad either. The baguette was freshly baked, so I was happy about that. When I moved into high school, the provider of school lunch changed because my school was a little different. It wasn't your typical high school. I'm not going to name this school, but let's just say it had its quirks. This school was the first one where they always had a vegan option, which was pretty rare back then. Now, I think every school I've been to offers vegan option every day, but back then it felt pretty unique. They also made the food on site. It wasn't just reheated meals, so the food was fresher every day. Some students even said that the school had its own garden where they grew carrots and potatoes in the backyard of the school, but I never actually saw it, so I believe it's a lie. Another fun thing this school did was an event called Favorite School Food Week, where students could vote for their favorite dishes. But then I realized that every year, one of the days always featured Finnish cabbage rolls. Who voted for this? Why not fish sticks or the bloody meatballs? Why does everyone love Finnish cabbage rolls so much in this school? The first 2 times it happened, I walked to the subway with some friends, but by the 3rd time I just gave in and ate the cabbage rolls. Honestly, it was still a better option than Subway, even if I wasn't thrilled about it. I get very bored with Subway sandwiches, even if I take different bread and fillings every time. It just doesn't hit after one bread. I also loved one of my classmates in this school, because when we had sausage baked in the oven as lunch, she always gave me 1 extra sausage. We were allowed to take only 2, but I was a greedy little piggy. My classmate didn't care about the sausage, so she only ate 1 every time. So I asked her to take 1 extra for me, and she agreed every time. Here you go, Oni. The extra sausage you asked. But the worst part of this school, they put carrots in everything. No matter what the dish was, there was always carrots in it, and also carrots in the salad next to it. Even in the pea soup, carrots. You can imagine how I felt about that every single time. One of my favorite dishes is filled with carrots. Disgusting. I have 2 more schools to talk about, but I'll just combine them into one category because the food was simply so good in both places. I ate every day in these schools, and there was nothing bad to say about them. The reason why these two were so much better than anything else is simple. They were paid cafeterias by the school, not your typical school lunch service. These were cafeterias you'd find in proper establishments, like cafes or restaurants, where the focus is on quality food and the overall experience. The food wasn't just quick and functional, it was thoughtfully prepared, often using fresh, locally sourced ingredients. It felt like something you'd actually want to pay for. I also discovered my love for carrot cakes at one of these schools, as they made the best carrot cakes I've ever tasted. Even now, I travel to that school just to buy carrot cakes from their little boutique. They have other treats and food, sure, but honestly, I'm just there for the carrot cakes after all these years. I know that my experience with school food is really positive because I'm not that picky about it. I know people who only ate crisp bread at school. Those were their words, not mine. So I understand that a lot of people might not agree with my opinion on Finland's school food. Also, I cannot speak for what it's like now. But when I was a kid, the school lunch was good. I hope you liked this video, and I wish to see you all in the next one also. Bye bye!